Yeah, we're gonna have to go fast. We got a match between Trisscorp and Dormiens. Dormiens, I don't know. Seems kind of French to
Yeah,
me, so I went for it.
you said it French, and I was like, that sounds weird, but actually maybe it
But
doesn't.
maybe.
Yeah.
Trisscorp is one of our absolute best and absolute just regular in top 8, as surprising as that is. There's maybe like 6 people who I expect to get into top 8.
Am I one of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you, Andy, Drake, Trisscorp, Adam, someone, 325.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
I guess I'm also kind of the new one.
Yeah, a little bit. And then there's a bunch of people who could and are likely to make it into those last 2 spots. But Trisscorp is one of those 6, and you can see has been to top 8 7 times before, 72% win rate. Is going to be the favorite here against poor Dormiens, who has a 33% win rate and not a lot of experience in Mystery Train.
Into this relevant music.
I mean, Tetris is kind of relevant to Palamedes, I guess.
Yes. It's kind of a puzzler, which is what we have agreed to call these puzzles, these games.
It's not a puzzle game, it's a puzzler.
Yeah, drop puzzler.
Okay. I did test the game that these two are going to be playing, so I can talk a little bit about it.
About matches.
We got Trisscorp, who has only played 1 match so far, had the bye, but played against Fast Fruit Man and Fire Striker. It was a pretty decisive win in a janky game, and they looked good out there. Dormiens defeated Bun in a surprisingly fun to play Ronald McDonald in Magical World game, despite what you'd think about a McDonald's game on the Game Gear.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it sounds horrible, but apparently it was alright.
Yeah. There's also a really, really good speedrun, the NES Donald Land game. You can go so fast, the game doesn't update the tiles fast enough, and there's like this rift that breaks reality that appears on screen. And if you go fast enough, you like cross over that, and like it gets really weird with the hit detection. Ronald games, there's just something about them for going fast. And then defeated Phantom Matt in Revenge of the Smurfs in a pretty close race of a bad zoomed-in GBA platformer with stuff coming in from off-screen, knocking you into pits.
One of the racers was playing the game for some reason.
Trisscorp thought it was a training mission.
Do we let the other player catch up? Purely how it goes.
I don't know, how much did they play?
Until the section with the 4 bars. I don't know.
I can't see it. Even if I could, it would be hard to describe. The game is pretty samey with the way it looks in level design.
Yeah.
Each level looks unique individually, but any given part of any level, I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, oh yeah, this is like halfway through. I don't know.
Alright, let's have a look here. The Invincible Iron Man. Not just any Iron Man.
Yeah, well, it's like the Incredible Hulk, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, they dropped the subtitle for the MCU, I think, so people don't really remember. I don't remember that. I don't know comics.
Yeah, it's a very comic booky thing. It's kind of tacky, I guess. It's not cool, so they dropped it. But that is his little moniker, I guess. This game's pretty good. It's surprisingly well animated. I mean, we're seeing it in slow motion because for some reason Trisscorp is watching the credits, but there's a lot of frames on Iron Man's run animation, as you can see, and like shooting and stuff. It looks good. It sounds good. It's It's like I don't know. It's a platformer basically, but it's punishing. You can take some hits, and you will take some hits because there are enemies all over the place all the time. But you'll want to like scout out and try to find health drops a lot. There's also this energy meter which goes down when you shoot and goes down more when you charge shot or when you double jump, and you want to keep that up a little bit. It does kind of regenerate over time. You don't need it to do your basic attack, but yeah, that's good to have. And usually they're together, health and energy, so you just kind of are keeping your bars full as you go. You can ignore most enemies. You are going to take more damage that way, but it's also a lot faster, so there's some risk reward that way. Mostly it just feels good to play. It feels good to move around, to jump around, shoot things. Unfortunately, this was it's like you get 3 lives or something, and then you game over and you go back to the title screen, and you can save your game, but it saves the number of lives you had.
Also,
and so I didn't want people to
time.
have to like, yeah, I didn't want people to have to try to like do an entire stage in 1 life or whatever. So they're going to be playing with an infinite life code. It took me a while to find because the domain is in the EW RAM to find it, and I didn't realize there were so many different domains to search for the memory value.
But you should try to make a dolphin sheet. That's fun. You get to learn assembly, memory watching, like in kind of a trace assembly way. So much fun. And then when you test the cheat and it doesn't work, like the whole game explodes because you changed the assembly code of it. that was the best part, so I had to reload the emulator every time it didn't work. Alright, here we go.
So you've got this air dash. You can dash on the ground as well. You can dash and then jump out of the dash and have dash speed in the air, and that's good. But you can see, like, you can't. It's a GBA game, so it's zoomed in. You can't see very far ahead of you, and if you're going at that speed, you can't react to whatever is coming on screen. You're gonna bump into something. Thankfully, you don't take damage when you bump into things. There's no contact damage. You will go and you'll go back. You'll get knocked back, but you don't take damage unless someone actually shoots you or whatever. So I didn't realize that immediately, so we'll see if that's something the players pick up on. Can't help but notice all their bars are very low.
But the electric bar just goes down when you shoot, right?
Yeah. And other stuff. Maybe dash? I thought it goes down when you double jump, but that's wrong, I think, just based off what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like... It doesn't even look like it goes down when you dash. Sound.
Yeah, the charge shot. The charge shot's really good, but it is going to chew through your energy pretty quick. The star up there, Trisscorp saw it. The star is amazing. It's invincibility. It lasts long enough to get you all the way to the boss in this stage. And you've seen how fast you can move when the enemies aren't constantly in your way, right? So when you can just blast through them, it's super good.
Does Spaceman tell you about the star?
I thought about adding it to the paste bin.
Did you post the paste bin in the chat yet?
Didn't. I didn't put it in the paste bin. And I also did not change it. The health bar is the plus on the right.
Yeah, we got the energy bar for shooting and maybe other things. And the health bar for not dying.
I guess it's just shooting.
Maybe there's like grenades or something where you get, and then those use that as well.
I didn't find any, at least in this goal. There is... I think there's a checkpoint that you can trigger. I can't remember if it's like a thing and you'll hit it and you'll see. Which is bad because I did play this pretty recently. This isn't one from 2 months ago or whatever. But if there are checkpoints, they're pretty far apart. You can lose a lot of time for dying in this game. You can see what I mean. It's just a mess constantly. You're just trying to sort of stem the bleeding as you go.
It's interesting, like in a blind race. How fast do I go? I find that an interesting thing to figure out.
Trisscorp seems to have dialed in on a slower speed. Was fighting a lot more guys. Now that I guess his energy is really low and his offense is more limited, is a little more willing to try to get past some folks.
Dormiens joins Trisscorp on level 2.
There it is. That's the checkpoint thing. That little ball that turns green.
Like a satellite uplink. Trust us, it makes sense.
Trisscorp having a bit of trouble telling which walls are walls and which ones aren't.
We turned down the game even more. I think we have gotten the whole audio range of the Invincible Iron Man by now.
So if I remember right, there's only sort of 2 halves to each overall sort of mission. So yeah, here's the boss fight now, and this is gonna be the end of the first sort of world. The Trisscorp dies, and it's gonna go back to that checkpoint they triggered.
Is that like a space marine?
I don't know who he is. It's a big guy. Maybe it's Ironmonger, I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I think it's a thing.
Okay. If it isn't, then I would have to applaud your creativity.
It's definitely from a Pro ZD sketch where he's making fun of the dumb names of Marvel villains.
Oh, Dormiens dice.
It's like Iron Man, but it's Iron Monger. Monger.
Dormiens died immediately after the checkpoint, so maybe that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, maybe.
If you could set it up like that every time, you would.
This boss hurts. Trisscorp is almost dead.
Whoa. Yeah, I was gonna say the boss is not very challenging, was what I was gonna say. It's mostly just that it doesn't take a lot of hits to kill it, I guess. But yeah, I guess if you let him hit you, you get messed up.
Like you're running low on energy all the time. It's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to... If you don't go in with a lot of energy, you're not going to be able to do a bunch of charge shots to kill him. You are going to run out.
Dormiens is almost dead as well.
Yeah, does find a couple of pickups. You can see they only fill up about a third.
Is the boss?
There's the boss. Yeah, it's still trying to go to the right. It's not really clear that you're in a boss fight situation.
Oh, there's a health bar.
Yeah.
If I see health bar, I make health bar go down.
But this is like there's a lot going on the screen. I can tell you that when you're...
And also the fact that you have to keep track of 2 meters just always distracts you a little bit.
Yeah. And like there's no change in music, there's no sound effect or not, like just a bar appears in the bottom right corner of the screen. I'm really bad at missing UI elements, and you're pretty good at picking up on them.
Oh, I like what Trisscorp is doing. Oh yeah, what game was that? Where I found like a bar and you were like, oh yeah, there is a bar for this.
It's happened like 3 times or something. Ooh, Trisscorp unable to jump over the projectile.
So Trisscorp was destroying these turrets on the side before fighting the boss, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Anything that... Like, the boss just walks back and forth and fires one little dot. Like, it's highly dodgeable. So if that's the only thing that's going on in that fight, even if you're there with a sliver of health, you can still get a win once those turrets are gone.
There's some health in this structure. If Dormiens goes left.
Yeah, it's going to become important for the players, I think, to sort of
and
sniff
energy.
out.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's like a full charge.
Right before the boss. I think we could see a kill here. Well, the charge shots have obliterated all of the energy, but so is the boss's health bar.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see
Damn.
that. Wow. That's lead change. Trisscorp entering level 2 like well before Dormiens, but Dormiens beats it first.
I guess even with like a sliver, you can still charge like a pretty good shot.
I was very scared for a second there.
Second level is harder in a lot of ways, particularly in terms of navigation. The overall shape of this level is you go right and then you go up and left for like kind of a long time in the treetops, and then you go back right, and then you drop down.
I hate that, because you never know if that's the way to go or if it's just like a one-up or something.
Yeah, and this is absolutely a game that has one-ups and invincibility power-ups or just health and energy and all kinds of side paths.
So we're just destroying these redwood trees. Seems kind of messed up.
Yeah, just blasting the core out from them. Just that base of the tree they absolutely rely on.
Yeah, what the hell? These trees do not have long to live, I feel like.
Yeah, to be fair, it was all rotted out down there or whatever.
We're going left and up. Dormiens is doing it.
Yep. Yeah, the platforms here hopefully telegraph
That's
enough
true.
that like this is a thing to do. I didn't find it without too much trouble, but like you said, I felt bad about it the whole time. Like, oh my god, am I doing the wrong thing?
Dormiens,
And if you fall, it can be quite punishing.
Dormiens didn't know where the platform was, and you never know like where does the cycle end. So like where do I predict the platform is at this point? It's pretty hard.
Yeah. And you've got like a lot of air mobility. You've got full left to right control in the air. You've got your double jump. It's a really big double jump, but the camera's pretty zoomed in, and it's pretty keen on following you as you jump into the air. So the platform you want to see down below, you don't get to.
Oh, this was just about us.
Yeah,
Are we just going higher instead?
Yeah, this is
there
maybe when you turn around. Yeah,
checkpoint.
And the checkpoint.
A checkpoint would make me think, okay, good, I am going the right way.
Yes, absolutely. Unless you're playing Kim Possible, in which
But
case, F you.
I did mention it during commentary, and then when we talked about it later, like we two, you were like, oh yeah, that game, there was like this weird checkpoint, and I went there and I thought, oh, I am going the right way, but then I wasn't.
So with Trisscorp, I think needs to go up and left now. I don't think I've seen any platforms on their side of the screen. But maybe they're already past it and they're at the end, sort of going back right.
Seems kind of like the end of the level for Dormiens.
Definitely for Dormiens.
Kind of low on health. There's health down there.
So one thing I haven't talked about, the players have this gold orb in the top middle of the screen.
Oh, that's
your super.
The chest laser, yeah, we saw it from Dormiens.
Yeah. If you pick up one blue ball, it turns blue, and then you have like a less powerful super attack, and if you pick up a second one, it turns gold, and then you've got the really big one.
That's something modern Iron Man even does. With laser from his heart.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but it's a thing in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I know that much. It's his super whatever attack.
I only know the one where he goes like, proton cannon, and then a giant cannon the size of his entire body comes down and lands on his shoulder, and then blasts you with
Oh, isn't that what...
one frame full screen super.
Isn't that what... Oh, that's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think.
Yeah. I figured he had it in 3, but I know less about 3. There's been a shift in the meta for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 over the past few years. It got it got rollback, I think, so people have been playing it a little bit more. And now people are starting to think Iron Man should be in the God tier with Storm and Sentinel and Magneto. And maybe Cable shouldn't be in the God tier anymore. Yeah.
I know in 3 it's all about like Phoenix, Doctor Doom, Wolverine. Those are good in 3.
Yeah. Morgan with her fireballs. So we saw a level 1 super from Trisscorp, and it's more of like an AoE thing, less so than like a forwards laser beam.
It may be better. In
Maybe.
certain
I have no
situations.
idea like what damage values are attributed to either one.
Oh,
That's
Dormiens has star.
invincibility. Yeah.
The furry turret pointed out it's false advertisement that this is the Invincible Iron Man, but then there's a power-up which gives you more invincibility. What is that about?
Yeah.
Doesn't
You're
make
very
any
much
sense.
not invincible. The players have died multiple times. But they are playing with infinite lives, so, you know, maybe they are the invincible.
It's kind of invincible, yeah. Like undying. Not quite invincible, but undying.
Yeah.
I hate this level design. It's just constantly getting in the way of you going fast.
Yeah.
Ooh, especially when you die.
I don't think I saw a checkpoint hit by Dormiens, so I
Nope.
think technically Trisscorp is ahead right now.
Yeah, and actually pretty healthy. He's going slower, which is now paying off.
Right. We saw Dormiens pull ahead, I think, by just being more fast, more aggressive, more reckless. And that works until it doesn't, right? And so we just saw when it doesn't.
Yeah, so maybe another mystery skill is like adjusting your playstyle to like the difficulty curve of the game.
Yeah. Like maybe that works in level 1, but then level 2 gets harder,
Yeah.
and you gotta do something else. Dormien's pushing enemies around with the dash, which is a thing I didn't find myself doing. I just kind of assumed it wouldn't go well. Overall, I think this is going to be a pretty quick race, by the way. Level 4, the goal is going to be basically to beat level 6.
Yeah, the third area, yeah. Forgot these are split into two. This is where Dormiens died, kind of. Oh, checkpoint, so the boss must be close.
I think not. I think it's like halfway.
Really? The boss was pretty close to the one in level 2.
We'll see.
Ooh, who's the laser power up? Ooh, these grenades hurt. Iron Man isn't invincible at all.
Checkpoint for Dormiens.
Maybe I would just, like, if you spawn with full health, I would just suicide.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of synced, actually.
Yeah, I think they're on the same platforms.
I think Trisscorp is a bit higher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, platforms left, platforms right. Which way do you go? Dormiens sees that this platform is high enough to get to the one way above, so it goes that way.
Oh, wow, the double
Whoop,
jump
double
save.
jump.
Nice.
Trisscorp also dashing into enemies, just rushing into them. As long as they don't shoot you while you are dashing towards them, you will make contact and sort of shove them back, stun them.
Ooh, both players very hurt.
Yeah, that checkpoint feels like it was a long time
Oh.
ago at this point, and they both die, so...
Dormiens walks
Neck
into
and
one
neck.
of those floor traps. Misjudged the timing on the cycle.
Story-wise, I have no idea why Iron Man is in the forest, by the way.
Well, to destroy the
that's
trees.
You know, somehow I don't think that's why he's here.
Right, that's all he's been doing, pretty much. But
There's some
Trisscorp,
kind of bad guy.
yeah, Trisscorp can just, like, he figured out you can just go on the right platform and jump directly up there. Kind of skipping a lot of these cycles. Oh, Dormiens is doing it too. Not quite though. He was trying to make it to the platform above, and that didn't work.
So unfortunately, the players have picked up on it can be good to just be holding the charge down to go into whatever the next encounter is with that charge shot ready to go. I say unfortunate because our ears unfortunately have to put up with the charging sound.
It's what I thought too. Like,
Someone left the AC on really loud or something.
or it's like a razor.
So Trisscorp has a choice here, go right through the rotted trees or left. I think every time you see rotted trees, it's always progress. So I think Trisscorp's hoping for some kind of health pickups or something down here. Finds damage instead after getting a little bit of health.
Dormiens ahead? Or are they equal now?
They're very close. No, this is where Trisscorp went and got that health before taking that damage, and that allowed Trisscorp to stay alive. They were very, very close.
What is this icon supposed to show me? For the boss? Like a Yeti?
I don't know. It's Blizzard or something is his name? Yeah, Blizzard.
Oh, he just leaves.
Yeah, you don't actually beat him.
What? I wasn't even a third of his health.
Yeah, it was really
He's
easy.
conservative.
He comes back, you chase him up to his ice mountain home, I guess, is what's happening.
We are in the Himalayas.
So this level, this game was cool. The movement is cool. I thought it was like the decisions between like how fast you go, I thought were kind of meaningful and interesting. So I accepted it. But this level, it is fully possible to just go in like a big goddamn loop. So I'm a little worried. I think Trisscorp is going the way that is correct. You come out here and this looks good. This is good. If you go up instead of right, it's kind of a lot of time lost.
It's ironic that this is the level where the game stops being cool.
Yes, it is. That's another death in stage 4 for Dormiens. It's tough because like it's a totally different game when you're starting to go slow and trying not to take damage. Like if you're not good at that game, what it looks like, how it works, you're just gonna take damage anyway.
Oh, here's the guy. He was kind of taunting us, and now he flew away.
At least you know you're going the right direction.
That's true.
There was like a high-low split here for Trisscorp as well. Has gone high, and this is, I think, correct.
I like high in general. Like if I have the choice between high and low and there's no other like hint, like a signpost or coins or something like that, I'm going high.
Extra one up.
Oh, it actually gave him an extra one up. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, that's true.
Expected to cheat to lock it to 2, no matter what you do. Maybe it reset it. Now it's gonna go down to 2 and then 1. And then we have to play a whole nother game.
No, don't. I made that cheat. Don't tell me it's wrong. That's usually how it works, though. You're right. So the fact that it did go up to 3 does have me worried.
Maybe there's another value for some reason.
Trisscorp dies. I don't know if I saw a checkpoint. Okay, there's a checkpoint. Dormiens has got a ton of health. Just needs to like hit this guy once, basically.
Oh yeah, Chet is pointing out the mountains in the background. It was funny, at the start of the level, we were lower so we could see the bottom of the mountains, and it's just like a sprite of a mountain that just moves up and down and left and right a bit. You can see the bottom of it. Really silly.
Alright, Dormiens on to stage 5. Trisscorp is well towards the end of stage 5 now. Finds super power up and is going to try to go low and doesn't really see anything and is like, let me try all the way high. Sees a platform.
Yeah, there was one
boy.
On the tree.
Okay. Yeah. We could have seen, like, there's a parallel universe where Trisscorp is like, oh shoot, I missed a path down there, and goes that way, right? But is like, no, all my senses tell me it should be up here somewhere, so I'm just gonna go up and then do a big jump off of it and see what I can see, and sees the way to go.
I'm glad this is gonna be over quickly, because this game audio, man, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because the music is pretty good. Especially for a GBA game.
No, this hat music.
Level 6 is the final level of the goal.
Dormiens
surprisingly
also has the checkpoint now, so also on the last part of level 5.
Nice. Unsurprisingly, Trisscorp is going to probably beat my test time, which isn't even a fair test time, because I played up to the second stage and then game overed and then reloaded my save. I hit continue on the menu, which is what the paste bin says, and it's like, and you'll have 3 lives, and I had 0 lives, and I was like,
Oh.
And so then I started over and did it all again with the code. So I was kind of really not blind in that way. I already had a good sense of like how fast I should be going, what enemies I should kill and which I shouldn't, and how important it is to find health pickups and stuff.
Oh, look.
And even with that knowledge, I got a 2730.
Look, Trisscorp is intentionally dying after getting a checkpoint. I think that's super good. There's more.
I agree. Dormiens hit that checkpoint in the stage and then died and ended up back at it. I'm glad that he hit the checkpoint as quickly as he did. Oh, spots and invincibility up on the cliffs. Dash away. Become a reindeer.
It's just start charging your gun for 5 minutes.
Invincible iron blitzen.
Imagine if the charging sound got louder and louder as you crouched.
Alright, sees that platform. Manages to find that platform too. Just land right on it. So I think stage 5 is going to be over pretty quick.
Oh, 5. Also has 3 lives now.
Here's the low path. Dormien opts for high as well. I don't really foresee anything stopping Trisscorp.
You think the boss is a joke?
Yeah, there's a bit of a gotcha. I did add a note in the paste bin. Remember we were talking about one of those, we were in Rising Zan. The boss goes away and heals itself, and you need to destroy its source of healing. There's that going on in this game.
Okay. The boss is gonna like go to the ice cream machine and get some more ice.
Yeah. So you gotta blow that up. No ice cream for anyone.
But that's why the ice cream machine is always broken.
Yeah, Iron Man has been by your local McDonald's. No, you know McFlurries for you. It's for the greater good, though.
Yeah, we gotta stop
all the
Ice Yeti.
These enemies are edge guarding Trisscorp pretty bad. Finally does find purchase.
Edge guarding. You and your fighting games.
At least it's one of those terms that like is what it says.
It makes sense without context, yeah. Oh, Dormiens dies before getting a checkpoint.
That is probably gonna decide it. I guess I lied, and there's an actual like final level for the boss.
Okay.
Technically level 7.
Oh, so it's like a chase, or is it just a boss?
Just like an arena fight.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. Like you can see how much damage he takes.
I mean, he's gonna restore it.
Yeah. Trisscorp is already up here waiting. It was weird because I was sure I needed to break this thing, but then like it didn't really seem like I was actually dealing damage
it doesn't
to
do
it
anything.
or anything.
It doesn't flash.
Yeah. So that's why I felt okay about adding the paste bin.
Boss is like has a third left. Is it gonna heal? Did he already destroy it?
I think it's not. I think it does change to a sprite that's like broken.
He was doing the taunting animation.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it broke. Or at least the boss stopped healing for some reason. No, he's doing the animation again. He's gonna go back.
Dormien at the start of stage 6.
He got done, and yeah, the boss just continues dying, so that is not done, I think.
26:37, an impressive time. Beat my half 9 non-blind time.
Looks like you led me right back to your lair.
I think maybe this goal could have been extended. I didn't even really think about it, and I don't know why, because probably the limited lives was a reason to stop it where it is now, but with infinite lives, maybe it would make sense to extend it.
Like I said, I'm glad that it's going to be over soon, sound-wise.
And Trisscorp did kind of firmly establish a full level lead at the end, so I feel okay about the better player having won. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with how both players have done in this race. Dormiens misreading the level design. There is a ledge on the left. Oh, the guy just blasts Dormien. Has that checkpoint, though. Oh yeah, at some point Trisscorp's lives went back down to 2. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that. And it didn't go to 1 when he intentionally died. I was very happy about that. For your sake.
Oh boy.
It's curious that it went to 3 to begin with. Maybe it's one of those things where there's like a value for the counter and a value for the lives. And for some reason the life pickup makes both of them go up at the same time. It's not like synchronized to the actual lives. That's a common thing in modern games.
Yeah. It's you're hunting around in memory addresses and like, well, first off, you don't know if it's 0 indexed. It probably is, but it might not be. So you're like, even if you're trying to look for the specific value of like 2, then you might actually need to be looking for 1 or whatever. But you'll look for 2 and you'll finally narrow it down. But it turns out you were just getting the counter that was displaying 2, the number of lives you had the whole time. So you'll lock it, and it'll look like you have infinite lives because it's staying the same, and then suddenly you game over.
Hey, Trisscorp.
I don't hear you. And it's not just because Iron Man's charging sound is drowning you out. We just don't hear you. They've deafened, so they're definitely fiddling with some kind of settings. There's an invincibility star on the left there. Dormien's looked at it like 4 times, and I think hasn't really noticed that it's not health or energy, that it's actually a very good thing.
Yeah, I think he's just concentrated on the right side of the screen so much. So when I did the SSX3 cheat, right, like I was looking for the timer, it counts down from 25 minutes, and I kept looking. Turns out it's backwards, so it counts up the frames that you have been in the level. It's not even seconds or anything, it's just frames. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. God, I did such a blunder.
What did you do?
The pace being said, start on new game and go through the story. So I went through. There's some cutscenes happening. It's the standard like text cutscene GBA has. I was like, oh, the first mission, that's the story mission. And then FAO said, oh, that's not supposed to play that. So I played like, I don't know, 15 seconds of the first level.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it mattered that much, but...
Yeah, no, I don't think it mattered.
Yeah, it's just because it said the story, not cutscene, so I just like, what? It's kind of hard to know what story means.
Right. Yeah, no, I get you. You don't need to defend yourself or whatever. Like, it's totally understandable. How was the game?
It's kind of bad, actually.
I thought it was cool.
Like, every time I like run forward, there was a guy there that just instantly shot me in the head.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
I just felt like I took constant damage trying to go forward. It was like really annoying.
Yeah. Maybe if you could see a little further ahead or something, that would help. But So it seemed like you decided pretty early on that like, oh, these guys are constantly just appearing and shooting me. This is not good. I'm gonna play it a little bit slower and try to give myself time to react to threats and stuff.
Not really, because the dash actually speeds you up in the air. I noticed, so I wanted to use that as much as possible, so I could just go through the level much faster. But and then there was just like you just land in the middle of 3 enemies and they all shoot you.
Well, it seemed like you were finding moments to do that, but you were sort of balancing it with other moments of like, okay, I'm gonna take care of these enemies. I'm gonna make sure I don't get shot by this guy. Like we were definitely seeing more dashing, more recklessness from Dormiens, at least in the early stages.
Really? Okay. I felt like I was really reckless. That's usually not how I play.
Well, this game kind of invites it, doesn't it? Like, even if you are going slow, it's tough for that to make much of a difference. Like, it's still hard to not get shot, even when you are being careful.
Yeah, that was a thinking too. I was thinking maybe docking would work, but it's kind of hard to react to that.
Yeah.
So decided not to, but that's kind of weird that the second boss just like, I am going go now. I've lost 1/3 of my health. I'm going.
Yeah. It's like I'm out of here. I got my machine which shields me.
Yeah, it's not even a fight, really, is it?
Yeah, the pace being said there was a machine too, so I had the forget what the superhero game had this regen mechanic too. It kind of felt like deja vu.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
Rising Zan has it, which is kind of a superhero.
Oh,
Yeah, we had that game earlier in the tournament.
Such a good game.
But yeah, so like I agree, there are enemies all over the place, and it's like impossible to avoid taking damage a lot of the time. But I did like the way that just like the game looks and sounds and how it feels to like jump and dash around and stuff. That all seems pretty solid.
yeah, except this is like a meter for your shooting, so you can't just spam your shoot button when there are like 3 enemies that's just gonna shoot you and take the hits. It's kind of annoying. So I constantly had to do the charge attack because that's the only way to freeze stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw both of you holding down that charge button plenty, which makes me rethink the part where I said this game sounds good, because a lot of it is just that like sound of him charging the gun.
Yeah, and you have to hold it while you're jumping a lot too, which is like a Mega Man thing.
Yeah, and like sometimes you want to be like dashing and jumping, so you're holding one button and hitting 2 others. Like at that point, you're talking about claw or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's like playing Mega Man X, pretty much. Just holding the charge entire time, and you're just jumping and dashing all the time until you finally release the button, have the sweet release, just to press it again a few frames after.
Yeah, it's not the way I want to be playing video games. You're right. It's why I don't think so highly of Super Metroid compared to some of the other ones, because you're constantly holding run and then pressing jump and shoot and select to switch weapons. And well, you did good. You beat my time. Also, I played the first level and then the first forest stage, and then died and ran out of lives. And then originally. It's the paceman said you could continue, and it would give you 3 lives, but it doesn't. It saves however many lives you had, so I had just the 1, and I was like, this sucks. So I started over with infinite lives, which is a lot more than the 15 seconds that you had at the start of your race. And you still beat me by like a minute, so I think you did phenomenally.
Oh, really? You mean, what happens? Do you restart this game on continue?
Yeah, title screen. Just go all the way back.
Oh, so did you retest it, or I'm kind of confused how you explained this.
So I played the first 3 stages, and then died somewhere in the first forest stage.
Yeah.
And I hit the continue, and it took me back to the forest stage, but I still had 0 lives.
Okay.
Not 3 lives. And so I would have to beat the whole stage without dying once. And that I would probably reject that, probably.
Yeah.
So I decided to add an infinite life code and then start it over from scratch. And like 3 weeks apart or something. But I still remembered a lot about the game when I did.
Okay, so that's... I mean, that's not bad, too. 27 minutes, not something to... like, cry about.
Yeah, no, I felt really good about my time, and then it just made me, respect what you had done even more. We got a 38:42 is the final time of Dormiens. Was very close to you through the first 3-4 stages, and then around the ice levels, just was getting so close to checkpoints and so close to the end of the level, and then would die and get sent all the way back.
That happened to me too, so...
Yeah, well, it happened a little bit less. But yeah, I think you played really well. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. It's only your second match. You got that bye. But your Mystery Tournament 16 run is looking pretty good.
I'm still stalking into top 8.
It would not be your first time. You had like seven top 8s, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 in a row.
In a row. There it is on the player card. Looking to make it 8. I think you can do it. So best of luck on your next match, and thanks so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you.
Dormiens is finished. I don't know if they want to interview, but I do know that... Oh, they do want to interview, because there they are. Hello, Dormiens.
Hello.
Well, first off, how do I say your name? Is it more like French, like Dormien?
It's just Dormiens, I think.
Dormiens, okay.
I pronounce it very often.
That's what I've been calling you for the past 30 minutes or whatever, so I'm glad. What do you think about the game?
Not gonna lie, not my favorite game.
Yeah, that's what Trisscorp said. You get shot in the face a lot.
Yes. And then you try to go fast by zooming over everything, and then you get hit when you go to the ground because you can't see anything.
Yeah, it's kind of that over and over. And then you try to stem the bleeding by scrounging for health pickups wherever you can.
Yeah.
You found some invincibility stars that I don't think Trisscorp did.
I found
that,
one, actually.
That helped you, I think, sort of keep pace. You were very close through the... Oh, you did get one.
Is that what those are? I didn't even know what those were.
Which one did you
I
get?
didn't know
Was
what
it
they
in
were doing.
the ice level? Yeah, the white circle with a purple star in it would make you flash. I know there's a lot going on in the game, but you were invincible while it was flashing.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I'd known that, I probably would have used it better.
It looked like you were using it pretty good, honestly. You started going pretty quick.
Nice.
I guess that's just what happens when you're invincible, just sort of naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that you weren't actually taking damage when you kind of ran into an enemy? Like, you still did the knockback, but you wouldn't actually take damage?
I did at the very end when I got knocked back for a couple seconds and I didn't take any damage.
Yeah,
If I'd realized
it
that
took me a while to
earlier,
notice too.
it would have been better, but you know. Better late than never.
I don't know if there's a way to like cheese anything, like, you know, like intentionally run into an enemy and like avoid getting shot and actually take damage. Like I don't know if there's many opportunities to do that. But maybe they're there.
But like maybe like when you're trying to zoom over everyone, you care less because if you run into an enemy, you don't take damage. But where if you're shooting, like if they shoot you, you do. So you want to just drop on their heads instead of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't remember if you get iframes though, so maybe you're just stunned in front of everything after you land.
Yeah, that might also be true.
I did notice both of you were dashing into enemies and kind of shoving them around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some that you could kill with the dash too. The robots in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was useful, mostly because the whole energy mechanic it's just bad. Limiting your shots when there's so many enemies is just a bad time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
If you wanted to kill every enemy in a stage, you would have to wait so long for your energy to refill to have enough ammo for that.
Yeah, I stopped just shooting pretty early and started just charging all the time so that I didn't like run out as fast.
Yeah, we had your audio for most of the race, I think. So.
Oh, I'm sure that was wonderful with the charge going the whole time.
Yeah. I think this music is pretty good when you can hear it, but you don't get to hear too much of it.
Welcome.
This was a winner's match. I don't have to say goodbye to someone today.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
I don't disappear into the void.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, you went 1 and 2, I think, in your last mystery tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now I've
And
gone
then-
2 and 1. So if I win
Yeah.
one more, we're even. We're 50-50.
That's a pretty, I don't know, like 3-1 is like a pretty big difference from 1-3. Like,
Yes.
I know it's just +1 instead of -1, but in terms of like the people you get matched up against and stuff, like it actually would be much better.
We'll see if I do that. I don't know if I will. It'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Well, you already got the second win, and your first loss comes to one of the best we have around here, so don't feel too bad about it. Well, that means I get to wish both of you, the best of luck on your next matches. Thanks so much for playing today and for coming to talk to us.
Yeah.
have good luck in the losers.
Yep, and good luck in the winners. Oh.
Up next, we already had the give game.
Didn't we?
Did we?
I don't think we
No,
did.
we don't. We didn't. I made that up. It's something else. Everyone Author Blues is playing Minecraft. This is
Oh,
this is the ping I have to tell everyone about, and
Yeah.
not a give game ping. I just assumed when I looked down and saw it. We don't have a give game, but the two players said that they were waiting
we are
for
about
after
to
this
be
match.
give gamed.
Any moment. But I don't want to bring up these player cards until I see those words.
Yeah, also it could be the other match instead. It could be a double.
Other match. There's another match. Yeah, so this match that there was two scheduled for an hour ago, and we did just one of them instead of both.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was also a match scheduled for 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's wild.
So either one of those two. Or both. Here comes one of them.
That evil was bigger than his gun, so he followed the footsteps of a mysterious
And Withheld can pull the game as she has defeated Palamedes Loop 2.
Oh, that was my sub, actually.
Oh, yeah, it had some issues with randomness, I guess, is why it got rejected. But otherwise, it was pretty cool. Internet Dirigible tried so hard to make it get in because he really liked it.
Yeah, I actually beat normal on 22 minutes or something.
What?
And
They were still going after like an hour.
yeah, so I thought
It's
that was
tough.
like a little bit too much because I actually played it in what is it called? Giant Trooper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was against Paladin, I think. We had that match, so I had some experience beforehand, so
Yeah.
I think that helped.
You and Maurice have this problem where you're just so good that when you do a thing and you get 20 minutes, you're like, okay, so, other people might be 25,
25 sounds
30.
good. Yeah, just add like 10 minutes. It's good enough.
And
Yeah,
then
that's-
for some
I
of
do that
us,
too.
it's 40, 50, right? You never know.
It really depends on the game, actually.
Yes, that's also true.
Some games are like Snowball Kids when some people take 10 hours to complete it. Something like that.
There's
All right.
there's a game marked at early rounds only, waiting to be pulled. That might not get pulled actually because we're running out of early rounds left in the tournament. That has a disparity of like an hour between our fastest time and our slowest time because of exactly that sort of thing. It's just one of those games.
Some games are just like, yeah, if you're just a little bit better, you're just doing way much. It just seems like you're extremely much better. Some games are just